Building decentralized application part 3, client side. First, we'll create the React app template, have an overview of the template. We'll design a simple UI for storing and retrieving the certificate details. Next, we'll connect our app to MetaMask. And finally, we'll interact with the smart contracts deployed on the blockchain via MetaMask wallet. Okay, so open a terminal in the Ethereum developer folder and execute the following command to create a React template using the Vue framework. Name the project DApp client side. Select React, then JavaScript. Now change into the DApp client side folder. Install dependencies. Now let us run the application to see the output. npm run dev. Yes, it's running on 5173 port. We'll open it up in a browser. So yeah, this is the template's output. Now let us take a look at the template. So we have the Vite framework configuration file, a public folder where we can store any public assets like images. The SRC folder contains our source code for the React application. So the entry point for our application is the main.jsx. Here we get the root div from the index.html and render all our React components onto it. Now we are rendering the app component returning the app.jsx. Now the app.jsx have the code for the web page we saw earlier. First, copy the deployment details to the SRC, that is sat.json and deployed address.json from the Hardhat project. Now let us clean up the template so that we can write our code. Next, install Ethase module. Then import browser provider from the Ethase. Now, any page served from a server will have the MetaMask Ethereum object injected into it. Next, using the browser provider and passing in the MetaMask object, we can create a connection object to the MetaMask. Next, we'll define a function for establishing a connection to the MetaMask. Inside this function, we'll get the current selected account in the MetaMask using the getSigner object. And then, if successful, alert successfully along with the address. Then in the UI section, we will define a button to call the above connect MetaMask function. Okay, so I want it to be central aligned. So I'll just use the default CSS to do that. So import that. Now click on the connect MetaMask button. Unlock the MetaMask. Select the account and confirm. We also get an alert message with the account address. Next, I want to create the UI for inputting details on a certificate. For that, we will create a form that can take ID, name, course, grade, and date as inputs. First, let us create a useState variable to store the form data. Next, we'll create a function named handleChange, which updates the form data state based on the user input in the form fields. The handle submission function will be used for the form submission, which will prevent the form's default behavior. Then for now, it will console log the form data state and call a function named resetForm to clear the form's input values. And next, just define the resetForm function. Then we'll define the form. On the left side, we can see the updated UI. Next, we'll do the contract interaction via MetaMask. First, import contract from Ethase. Next, we'll open the deployed address.json file and change the key to contract address, as reading keys with the hashtags will cause error in React. Then load up both deployed contract address and ABA from the deployed address.json and sat.json. Next, we'll define the calling of the contract issue function in the handle submit function. First, we will retrieve the signer address using getSigner function. Then we create the contract object using the contract address, ABA, and the signer address. Then using the contract object, we invoke the issue function. We'll simply log out the result and clear the form inputs. Before trying this out, let us define the read function also so that we know that write function works. We'll define two new useState variables. Query ID is used to store the certificate's ID the user wants and the output for storing the result. Next, we'll define a function named getCertificate. In that function, we'll create a contract instance. Call the certificate function by passing in the certificate ID. and set the result to output useState variable. Next, we will create the UI for querying the certificate data, one input field to enter the certificate ID, one button to call the get certificate function, and a paragraph tag to display the results. Let us go to the Hardhat project where we have deployed our contract and the Hardhat node is up and running. Let us connect the MetaMask to the Hardhat node. So open up MetaMask, open, select a network menu, click on the add network button, use the option add a network manually. For the network name, we'll give Hardhat. We can copy the RPC URL from the Hardhat console. And for the chain ID, if you don't know it, give an incorrect one. And if the RPC URL is correct, the MetaMask will suggest the correct one. So here, 31337. Same with the currency symbol, it's Go. So we added the network and we can switch to the Hardhat network. Now we are connected to the Hardhat node, but we got no Ether. So what we can do is copy the first private key from the Hardhat node console. As whenever the Hardhat deployment process happens, it will deploy from the first address listed on the Hardhat console. So we want the owner of the contract. So that's why we are getting the first private key. Click on the account one drop down, use add account option, select import account, paste the private key and click import. Now the account related to the private key is loaded and we got the balance. Switch back to our application and test it out. Click on connect MetaMask to ensure our connectivity. And yes, we got the alert. But open MetaMask to ensure the connection to the newly imported account as it does not show it sometimes. Yep, it is not connected. So just connect the new account. Now type in the details of the certificate. Click submit to issue the certificate, triggering MetaMask to ask us to sign and confirm the transaction. The Hardhat log will show many errors, ignore them, and query the certificate we just issued. Yep, we got the data back. That's it. Thank you.